she needed without really showing it to him. As she turned page after page, the young girl felt a pressing urge to spend money on all of the products shown in the advertisements and praised by the editors. After all, she would need them in order to seduce the brave Tristan. How could she have the slightest chance without cheating a little? Further down, a revealing psychological test claimed that Ambre would gain more affection by acting like a fragile little girl. Men needed to be reassured of their virility and of their protector role. Plus, she was too vulnerable, too frail. She couldn't manage anything worthy without some help. She had to find validations in his eye, validation of her very existence. If he thinks that I'm pretty, I will be pretty, like in that photograph. Like this, Ambre spent her afternoons reading tips from women magazines, training herself to be concealed. When she wasn't watching series, often romantic ones, she was shopping in the city to bring back clothes, accessories or cosmetics. The city, like in the television, constantly spat images of absolute and infinite love, of perfect and purifying love, like a drug, an obligation, a flawless pleasure and an order. Every billboard sold the same dream, also cliché, also desirable. It was the pursuit of the fairy tale formula, and they lived happily ever after in opulence and had lots of children. Novel and movie heroines all ran after the same goal, after the lure of profit, wealth, luxury, a life where everything would be easy, where everything would have lots of its taste, a dull and hollow life, an eternal masquerade. But this existence emptiness was just as easy to fill. You only had to consume and be consumed. You only needed to devote your soul to spend even more, to remove the vestings of nature, to hide that ridiculous body, too personal, too imperfect, too real, and to replace it with an ethereal sheet, a mirage. You only needed to spend without restraint in order to conquer the piggy bank of your dreams, a mere machine that gives banknotes and weak orgasms, to present yourself like a diamond, a beautiful shiny trinket that everyone should have in the living room. You only needed to destroy your own value, immaterial, and replace it with cold hard cash. And then, you only needed to bask idleness, go round in circuits in your cage, without any purpose to continue living in a dignified way, wandering like a lost soul, disguised as a clown that trips with a grin automaton. You need to fill the hole, the absence of life, the disease that devours your blood, all your authenticity with money, always more than money. Buy until you forget the unease, the angst. Ambre admired today's celebrities, those picture-perfect idols on which nothing stuck out, bodies without even the slightest trace of life. Their inspired songs only glorified as a permanent stake of pleasure, pleasure without toil. Like mass-produced Barbie dolls, all the celebrities merged into a single canon of beauty deemed as unsurprisable, absolute truth. The stars dived into this endless cycle of vanity with such ease that it was truly fascinating. Every minute that passed after the singer's first success was a minute of intense scrutiny as the whole world glued its eyes on the morbid show that was her slow suffocation, her imminent drowning. Nothing could be more enjoyable, more exquisite than staring at those young women slowly being engulfed by the shadowy tentacles of their dreams. They sacrificed their bodies to the cut of surgical scalpels, to the point of no longer resembling themselves anymore, to the point of transforming into some kind of wonderful monsters. They rejected their personalities and histories to melt into the mold, to conform themselves to the public's every expectation, become the showcase of modernity, the icons of the single form of happiness that was advertised at every street's corner. A form of happiness that little Ambre stared hungrily at. Becoming a star seemed out of the reach, but looking like one was a duty that women's magazines never ceased to remind her of. That frivolous press, so uncomplicated, so fraught with consequences. When Tristan Mallory came home at the end of his working day, he would find Ambre waiting hand and foot, trying to cook delicious meals for him. Ambre always elegant, craving to look her best, like a perfect little housewife with a strong character. He was past on the point of missing the innocent days, but in all honesty, he didn't even understand why the young girl was putting so much effort into becoming such a perfect creature. One evening, while she was cooking an unusual dish, one which the recipe had been recommended on TV, accompanied by a candlelit table in order to celebrate his birthday, he dared to ask, "But Ambre, why are you doing all this for me?" Dawn's question hit like a ton of bricks. His complete incomprehensions sounded like an insult. She would probably spend hours gassing up in the bathrooms, hours to appear fit to be seen, fresh. She probably spent hours tidying the house, cleaning every nook and cranny until it was spotless. She probably spent hours decorating, hours taking care of this godforsaken roast, laboriously cutting vegetables, and here was he asking her why she was trying so hard. The knife in her hands fell violently to the floor, emitting a metallic sound very much like an ill omen. "Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?" Ambre's voice trembled dangerously. While getting close, he noticed her hands were shaking freezingly, frenetically. Eyes wide open, soaked in tears, she exploded. "Because I want you to love me. I want you to look at me. Why don't you ever look at me? Am I not good enough? Is that it? I will be never as good as she was, will I?" She? But Ambre, what are you talking about? Dumbfounded, Tristan held her in her arms as tightly as he could. No, he truly couldn't understand. He couldn't understand such intense and sudden sobs. Reassuring by his gesture, Ambre wanted to explain herself. I'm sorry, I will never be able to replace her." "Who are you trying to replace, Ambre? Tell me." "Your wife. I can see that her departure left you very sad. I wanted to bring a smile back to your face. I wanted to take a place so you would forget about her." For a split second, Tristan Mallory was breathless. It was surreal. He would have pinched himself to make sure he wasn't dreaming, but no, the pain on his chest was put too real, too pitifully carved in him. How could he answer such a declaration? How could he find the right words? Catching his breath with difficulty, the 30-year-old man took Ambre by the shoulders and looked in her eyes for a long time. After a brief sigh, he affirmed, "Listen, I will never be able to forget my wife, all right? It's impossible. But it doesn't mean I don't want you. It's the exact opposite, actually. You're very dear to me, Ambre. You hear that? I need you. You already have her place."